Well, I guess we're not planting out in the field today. All right, so let's take a look at these beets that I did kill. Yeah, there's some that have some new growth coming, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope for the obvious victims. So what ended up happening was that I came in to water them one morning about 6:30, and it was light out, but the sun wasn't up yet. And so I get all the water hooked up, the hoses hooked up, and I start watering them. And I get down to here, and I realize, hey, wait a minute. Those are all frozen. They were all standing up beautiful, and I didn't think anything of it. And I stopped watering right there. And you can see what a difference from when I watered these frozen, right? I mean, but the new growth is coming back on tons of these. And based on that last snowfall, I mean, I still have got a little bit before these go in the ground. But watering frozen plants is a no-no. With the beets, I started 2 rows of each. So I started 8 rows of each. So if I lose a half a row of each out of these, that's not a big deal. Some of them have bounced back just absolutely lovely. And then other varieties or other trays that were maybe a little bit too dry heading into a cold night, being frozen, then being watered. But on the upside, this is sort of what hardening off looks like when it's done well and you don't water frozen plants. So these are a bunch of our brassicas. Everything, the kohlrabis, the cabbages of all the different varieties, the Brussels, the purple sproutings, and they are all looking fantastic. Those have all had, I don't know, probably about -3. And in a day or two, they will be taking up residence outside so that they can get used to the wind. Our radishes in here, if you can see them through the weeds, they're starting to radish. They're doing their thing. Now, because the temperatures have been so cold, these have not gotten any height whatsoever, which is pretty cool. I've got the drip irrigation on for now. And we might as well take a look and see how things are going on in the other greenhouse. I guess, but first with these onions are super, super, super cold tolerant. They are the first thing. In fact, those could have been out in the field right now, and they would be putting roots in the ground with a little bit of snow around them. They will be the first things going in, and hopefully this stuff all melts in the next day or two. And then as soon as it's not too muddy, they're going in the ground. That is a very wet snow. All right, so here's the beets that we have in the heated greenhouse, and they are all looking so incredibly happy. Oh, I think these are their second or third actually of oh boy, here we go. The big fan's turning on. Uh-oh. I'll talk closer to the phone, I guess. Yeah, all the transplants are looking good. We've got our herbs just rocking. So we are going to be making up some herb baskets. We won't have a ton of them, but we will have enough for our customers. So stuff like our sage will go in there. We actually have a little bit of mint coming up. Spearmint. Peppermint. It's a really nice looking basil blend with the green onions as a backdrop. And then our summer savory. If you like celeriac, we got you covered. We're gonna have about 1,500 of them growing down there that are gonna hit the field here in the next couple of weeks. Some thyme for the herb baskets. A little forest of basil. How unbelievably awesome does that look? And then we've got some parsley here, some more basil. We got a couple of trays to transplant out in the field of dill. We have a few trays of cilantro. So yeah, these herb baskets should look pretty nice. And then some of our flowers. A few of the sunflowers and a bunch of marigolds that are going to go out and be all happy. Probably the first part of June they'll hit outside. They don't do frost. So we will leave them in here for another month and a half. As far as the rows go, everything's going wonderful. The loose leaf lettuce, we are finally finished our first cut. So we started on that half a row and then worked our way back. So this has just been hacked. And we'll show you. This is the regrowth from the first cutting. It's absolutely ready to go again. So we'll be getting a couple of cuts. Like, look at how much that's already regrown from being cut last week. It's just crazy. It's the same thing with the Salanova lettuce. These heads are ready to take. These are where they've been cut. And then here's where they start growing back. And by the time you get down to the start, you can't tell that we've done anything. Our beets. Oh, what's that? Our beets are starting to beat. Oh, baby. Look at that. We will have baby beets at the first Look Home market. So that's May the 12th. More of our transplants looking fantastic. Ah, my happy place. This is so nice. It doesn't matter if there's a late snow. I'm expecting another snow in May. It doesn't really matter. We're going to get these plants hardened off properly. They'll be able to handle the snow. They're going to go out in the field, and obviously we will take you along with us when we do our transplanting, which should start either Friday or Saturday this week. So, hey, if you came around for the quick little tour, I appreciate it. We got tons going on in here, and we are just waiting for spring. Have an awesome week. Hey, if you're in the area, if you're in central Alberta, go to a farmer's market and tell friends to go to farmers markets. That's where you're going to get your homemade, your homegrown, your home baked. It's incredibly important to support your local producers. All right, thanks a lot if you guys have come along for this little tour to see where we're at right now in the season. Things are getting ramped up and markets are getting ramped up. Start of May, I think in the month of May, we have 35 markets. So spread the word. Make sure that you're telling your friends. Grab your older relative or neighbor and get them down to the market. And make sure you stop in and say hi. Have a wonderful week, folks. We'll see you on the next update. Bye.